These Rohingya men, women and children are just some of the new arrivals. They fled Myanmar into Bangladesh in recent days and are now being provided shelter in a refugee camp close to the border. Taharir Begum says she paid a boatman around $70 to ferry her family across the river into Bangladesh. But she and her 3 sons then got separated from her husband's 16-year-old daughter and the boy's grandmother. She doesn't know where they are.
The
Myanmar soldiers were demanding girls. They said, "Give us girls and save yourselves." They have been giving the Rohingya cards that say we are from Bangladesh.
The Myanmar government considers the Rohingya illegal immigrants, and they've suffered decades of persecution. The latest crackdown began after a Rohingya rebel group attacked police posts, killing a number of security forces in August last year. Hundreds of thousands of Rohingya fled the violence. The UN has accused Myanmar of ethnic cleansing. It's estimated that the army killed at least 6,700 Rohingya in the first few weeks of the crackdown.
We don't want to go back. My brother-in-law and my nephew were slaughtered. As my children are still so young, they are safer, but the adults are killed.
Carrying what few belongings they have, Tahira and her sons are taken to collect their shelter kits. The distribution centre is a 20-minute walk through the camp where more than 650,000 Rohingya refugees live now. The families are handed bags containing basic household goods and healthcare items. Now, although the number of Rohingya crossing from Myanmar into Bangladesh in recent weeks has dropped considerably, according to the International Organization for Migration, around 2,400 people crossed in December alone. Now, the plan put forward by the Myanmar and the Bangladesh governments to start repatriating Rohingya that wants to go back to Myanmar is due to start in a couple of days. But it's new arrivals like these that highlight just how vulnerable and afraid the Rohingya in Myanmar remain. The UN and international aid organisations say it's too early for refugees to return when their security cannot be guaranteed.
IOM is not involved in repatriation. These talks are happening bilaterally between the 2 governments. But as you can see today, we are still having people arriving on a regular basis in desperate need of humanitarian support.
Tahira and her boys are taken to the place where aid workers are building their shelter. This tiny bamboo and tarpaulin hut will be home for the foreseeable future. I hope my husband, daughter and grandmother can find us here, she says. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Balukhali refugee camp, Bangladesh.